Next on DC News Now at 6, a deadly shooting under investigation in Prince George's County tonight. What we know about the moments leading up to it.
Plus, a housing audit report was released today. There are results coming up in just a few minutes. Plus,
well, a frigid night last night for many of us across the viewing area, but we're live here in your local Ford Weather Center tracking, yes, another cold night. But will temperatures get as cold as they were on your Wednesday? We'll let you know in just a bit.
And good evening. Thanks for joining us for DC News Now at 6. I'm Chris Flanagan.
and I'm Annalisa Gale filling in for Tasmeen. We start in Prince George's County tonight. Police responded to the BP gas station near Chavez Lane and Walters Lane around 2 p.m. That's where they found a man who was shot and killed. Residents say they are frustrated with the amount of violence that's taken place in that area.
And to see this, it hurts and breaks my heart because we've had a lot of shooting here on Walters Lane, and it needs to stop.
Well, actually, we've seen a decrease, in particular in homicides over the last month or so. So this one, honestly, it hit pretty hard because we have been doing pretty well. But again, you know, we take these each and every homicide or violent crime seriously, and we look forward to the work that our police department will do and working with them to solve this case and to hold those who committed this offense accountable.
Now, at this time, the victim has not been identified, and this is an ongoing investigation.
Also, all new tonight, community members weighing in the district's new Office of Migrant Services.
The D.C. Council's hearing just wrapped up a few hours ago. D.C. News Now's Katie Reed joins us from the newsroom to break down some of those concerns. Katie, what are they saying? Good evening.
Good evening. Now, the overarching majority of the thoughts of people who testified during that Human Services Committee hearing earlier today, they were in support of continuing aid to migrants that are arriving here in the district, but a lot of them had concerns about the creation and also the operation of that Office of Migrant Services.
As a D.C. resident, I want my tax dollars to cover the most vulnerable.
D.C. Council is taking the next step towards permanent protections for migrants in the district. Thursday, they held a public hearing to address community concerns regarding the proposed Migrant Services and Supports Act. Many who testified supported the idea of continued aid for migrants here in the district.
Our government is attempting to provide access to health care, enrolling children in school, providing emergency shelter and assistance, and obtaining documents, and helping to locate family members and friends in the United States. Our government's emergency attempts to assist migrants need to be specialized and implemented permanently.
Others highlighted concerns with the new legislation, which could make changes to the Homeless Services Reform Act of 2005. This could potentially limit certain migrants from accessing homeless services.
Unfortunately, this legislation in its current form blatantly excludes immigrants and asylum seekers from the housing, medical care, and other social services they are entitled to, and flies in the face of human rights for those arriving to D.C., as well as the immigrants and asylum seekers that have made D.C. their homes for years.
Migrants and the unhoused community in D.C. are oppressed by the same system and the same government, and we do not need to create separate but equal offices to support community members who are from, or come from in many cases, not willingly, to stay in D.C. Make the OMS, but don't block people from our continuum of care.
Now, this is one of many steps that has to be taken before this legislation can be put into place permanently, and we'll obviously keep you up to date on that. In the newsroom, Katie Reed, DC News Now.
Well, new tonight, a $10 million housing discrimination settlement for the people of Washington, D.C. Attorney General Karl Racine made that announcement during a news conference today.
In this lawsuit, 3 companies, Darrow Management Services, Darrow Realty, and Infinity Real Estate, conspired, worked, made money off of preventing people who receive housing assistance from renting their apartments in 15 buildings across Northwest Washington, D.C. Wards 1, 2, and 3.
And Racine says this is the largest housing discrimination settlement in U.S. history. It also permanently bars all defendants from owning a property management company in the district. And at that news conference, we had a chance to ask Attorney General Karl Racine about the D.C. Housing Authority and that scathing HUD report we've been following.
Yeah, he had some pretty tough words from Mayor Muriel Bowser's appointees. The majority of the board's members overseeing that agency. With us now is our political and government reporter, Leonard N. Fleming. And Leonard, Racine was pretty blunt.
That's exactly right. AG Karl Racine didn't pull any punches. Simply put, he called for the heads of the D.C. Housing Authority who provided lackluster oversight and management of the agency, according to a recent HUD report. The D.C. Housing Authority has so many problems that federal officials found 82 deficiencies, and if fixes are not made, HUD may step in. And today, AG Karl Racine called the revelations troublesome.
The truth of the matter is that the D.C. Housing Authority has a specific mission, and that is to help people who need the most help around housing. Well, as the HUD report recounted in a clear way, DCHA's board votes in a block with the mayor's appointees.
The mayor, he said, hired an executive director over a national search where, in his words, loyalty trumps expertise. The HUD report stated Brenda Donald lacked the proper experience to run DCHA.
DCHA is a 0 out of 10, and the executive director and the board need to be removed immediately. In sports, when you win no games and don't fulfill your mission, coaches get fired, not protected.
With the mayor appointing 7 of the 13 board members, is this culpability directly on her?
I mean, I leave it to others to assess that. I rated the performance as 0. I think that answers your question.
Councilwoman Alyssa Silverman said she'd support curtailing the mayor's power on the board.
There are some more controversial moves that the Attorney General suggested, which is to, I'm trying to think of the diplomatic way of putting this, but take away the mayoral control of the board. It will be controversial.
Do you support that?
I do.
The mayor's office did not offer up comment. Meanwhile, DCHA has 3 months to make progress on the 72-page report's findings, which call the agency the worst in America due to high vacancy rates. For DC News Now, I'm Leonard N. Fleming.
Leonard, thank you. Meanwhile, turning now to international news, 45 days and out. Liz Truss has abruptly resigned as British Prime Minister. She becomes the shortest-serving leader in UK history. Truss's own Conservative Party revolted against her after a failed tax-cutting budget rocked financial markets. Many Brits say they're shocked by the announcement and angry with their government.
These people are put in power and they're given power to run a country, and what have they done? They've just abused it. They've made a mockery. It is a total disgrace. They should be all sacked and a new lot put in.
All right, so whoever succeeds Truss will become the country's 3rd prime minister this year alone.
Locals aren't the only ones speaking out about Truss's resignation. Here in the U.S., President Biden released a statement about the British Prime Minister, saying in part, the United States and the United Kingdom are strong allies and enduring friends, and that fact will never change. I thank Prime Minister Liz Truss for her partnership on a range of issues. Meanwhile, earlier this week, the president was among the people criticizing Truss for her proposed tax cuts, calling the idea a mistake.
An update tonight, 128 people have now applied to be on the next Montgomery County Planning Board. This comes after all 5 planning board members quit earlier this month due to a workplace scandal. And new today, Frederick County announcing a new behavioral health crisis facility. It'll help people dealing with mental health concerns, substance abuse, and other behavioral health emergencies. The plan is to provide patients with an alternative to a hospital and reduce the burden on first responders.
The center will give people a place to go for specific treatment without overburdening the emergency department. People would be referred or could be referred to the center by 211 staff, first responders, law enforcement, the mobile crisis team, and other community providers, as well as by families of individuals.
All right, that $1.5 million center is expected to be open next summer. Mayor Muriel Bowser has launched D.C.'s first Mobility Innovation District. The multi-year project will be centered around neighborhoods in Southwest D.C. It is designed to attract mobility companies, create jobs, and improve transportation.
For our residents, it means that they're able to get to their job. This is a high opportunity area. The residents also get to enjoy all these great amenities. And they'll be able to move about Southwest D.C. now because of the Mobility Innovation District a lot easier and have a lot more options.
All right, the district also announcing that Circuit, a micro transit company, has been selected to create a new mobility service for residents and visitors that will circle the Southwest neighborhood. The goal is to reduce congestion and its harmful effects on the environment. New details out of Virginia tonight. A Spotsylvania mother is in jail after police say her 4-year-old son died when he ate a large amount of THC gummies. This happened back in May, but 30-year-old Dorothy Clements was just indicted. The little boy, he died 2 days after suffering a medical emergency at home. Now, doctors told investigators that death could have been prevented if he had been treated quickly. Clements is being held without bond.
An update now on Rusty the red panda, who made headlines after escaping the National Zoo back in 2013 and later being found in the Adams Morgan neighborhood. Sadly, he died this week at a Colorado zoo. He was 10 years old. His cause of death is still unknown at this time.
Well, folks, what a chilly morning we woke up to very early on in the day today. Check out some of these low temperatures. Now, some folks didn't even really get too cold. The D.C. Metro managed to stay mostly in the upper 30s if you were inside the Beltway, 40 within the city center itself. But once you got outside of the Beltway, that's where the true cold air was located. 28 in Manassas last night into this morning, 32 degrees. There it is, Frederick, Leesburg, Martinsburg. And because of that, the growing season did come to an end for a large portion of the 4-state and DMV, mostly back toward Hagerstown through the eastern panhandle and much of northern Virginia, which is why we don't have any frost advisories to the west. But the growing season continues in and around the D.C. Metro and into southern Maryland, and with another cold night on tap with lows down into the lower and middle 30s. That's why we have yet another frost advisory for those locations here as we continue along. That sun goes down. The wind, it's been calm today for the most part at times. It's really going to calm down, though, tonight. And with these clear skies, look at how quickly we drop these temperatures as we move ahead, going from the 50s all the way down into the lower 40s by the time we hit the midnight hour and beyond. So those temperatures are once again expected to drop into the upper 20s in some of the more rural locations, low 30s everywhere else, and that will produce that widespread frost once again as we head into your Friday morning. But just how much are we going to then bring up those temperatures as we head off into the weekend? We'll have a check of your full forecast coming up here in just a bit.
All right, looking forward to that. Thanks, Damon. Still ahead here on DC News Now at 6, a study looks at police custody deaths as a former medical examiner faces backlash for his testimony in a high-profile trial.
And the evolution of electric cars goes even further. The details coming up. You're watching DC News Now at 6. We're back after this.